is ready to go. So let's get the camera on so you guys can see me. Today, we're going to talk about automated trading, one of my favorite topics. And I wanted to get a feel from you guys. What are some of the benefits? What are some of the reasons why you're here to learn about automated trading? Go ahead and put it into the chat pane, and we're going to talk through these benefits. So one of the big benefits, if you're not familiar with automated trading, is speed. So obviously you're able to type in, you're able to put in orders very quickly. And sometimes you see a trade set up and it's already run into and hit your target, and you just were thinking about putting a trade on. Has that ever happened to anyone? Automated systems can also help you execute trades accurately. How many of you have ever fat fingered an order? Maybe you're supposed to buy and you accidentally sold, or maybe you were supposed to exit and you accidentally added to a losing position. Has that ever happened? Right? So if you're able to reduce emotions, is that valuable to you guys? How many of you guys have maybe had a fight or a disagreement with your significant other right before the market opens, or maybe the night before, and it's kind of dominating your thoughts? How many of you guys have ever had that happen before? Well, what about how many of you guys have ever really truly tested your strategy over the course of thousands of trades to know if it really works? What if you tested on 3 trades, it worked, and that was the only 3 trades ever in the history of that strategy that it worked, and you took those 3 trades and a paper trade, and then you go live and you start losing money? What about things like improving your order execution? Or what about being faster if you have dozens of trades that you place every day, every week? So here's one thing I forgot to tell you guys is, if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you my How to Build Passive Income with Trading Automation book. We're going to go through that. And this actually goes, today we're going to talk about a little bit about what's possible. This goes far more in depth. It has some, there are some how-to videos, 6 or 7 how-to videos that you're able to get. So who is this guy behind the screen? My name is Matt DeLong, and I've been working with trading automation for 5 years. I am the CTO of Real Life Trading. Some of you guys may have heard of Real Life Trading, and I do speak regularly at the Money Show. They keep inviting me back. So what are you to do? Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about what most people do when it comes to trading automation. Again, this is what most people do, not this group, because this group is smart. You guys a little more ahead of the curve when it comes to trading automation. Most people will listen to a YouTuber, hear about, I don't know, Forex Fury, pick a bot, buy it or download it, have no idea how the bot actually works, connect it to a live account, lose money, and then assume, oh, it's a bunch of garbage. It's all in a scam, right? That does happen. Now, what I want to share with you guys real quick are, what are the top mistakes people make? Besides these here, what are the top mistakes people make? Now, some of you guys may not even know that these are things, much less problems, but this is the top 3 mistakes I see people do, and that is sometimes they over-optimize their strategies, work brilliantly historically, but perform terribly on live data or terribly into the future. Another thing is they focus only on one stock, only on Tesla, or only on the USD Euro pair, or only on Bitcoin, or only on X, right? Only focus on one thing. Now, it's doing great as long as the strategy continues to win. That's great. Sometimes you have losing streaks. That's part of the game. And then sometimes here in 2022, 2023, market impact, things like what? Inflation news, interest rates, those are fairly new things that we haven't had to deal with for several years, right? Those are new things that we have to deal with. So it's important to consider these and other risks when it comes to trading automation. Now, I want to give you guys a little insight, a little peek, and that is, number 1, that not every trading strategy works on every stock, every Forex pair, every coin, every crypto, right? Not everyone works. Now, what if part of the trick to being a profitable trader, part of the trick is what? Figuring out what works and what doesn't. So what if you use software tools to take a strategy and run it back over hundreds or thousands of back tests historically. Usually takes a few minutes. And it gives you insights into what works and what doesn't. Some strategies that work in Amazon or on the USD Canadian dollar don't necessarily work on other pairs or other stocks, right? What works on Tesla may not work on Amazon. What works on gold doesn't necessarily work on Forex, right? So I want to tell you guys a little secret. This took me many years to figure out. And this is kind of what the drum that I've been pounding for many years. And that is trading is a game of confidence. Why do I say trading is a game of confidence? Well, you have to have strategy. You have to have confidence in your strategy. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to have confidence that even if a trade loses, it's not going to mess up your emotions. You're not going to be an emotional wreck. That is one of the biggest challenges most people have. And that is getting too emotional. How many of you guys can relate to that? Type of 1 in the chat pane. If you ever get too emotional, you're all over the place. Type of 1 in the chat pane. So we got a few of you are honest. Abdul, one person. We have one honest person. So what if you wake up and you have automation place your trades for you, whether or not you had a good night's sleep, whether or not you're recovering from a wild weekend, whether or not you had a spouse, a dispute, or maybe some kind of conflict with a relationship with someone that you know and love dearly. So some of you guys say, well, Matt, I don't really have much money to trade with. To day trade, it does take $25,000 minimum. However, what if you're like, Matt, I don't really have money to trade with? Well, did you guys know? Some of you may know this. Real Life Trading, my company, offers funded accounts. Now, what does that mean? That means for a one-time fee, you can audition, and for as little as $500, you are able to get a $50,000 trading account. Now, why am I telling you this? Matt, does this have anything to do with automation? Yes, it does. You can actually connect trading automation to Real Life Trading funded accounts. Now, we offer all the way up to $500,000, which isn't listed on the screen. That's for more advanced traders. But imagine, team, what if 2023 is your breakout year? What if you take some risks, you get a funded account, whether or not you ever take a class, an automation class, whether or not you ever do anything with automation, you can absolutely do this and get started. Now, this only really works. This whole model only works if you have a decent strategy. If you are not a consistently profitable trader, you're going to blow up an account, right? And obviously, you'd rather blow up someone else's account than your own money. Am I right? So the way that this works is you pay a one-time fee and you grow the account 10%. It's pretty much across the board, same thing, depending on no matter what account size you have. You grow at 10% and then the money becomes real. So you're auditioning. We're not just giving you capital on day one. We want to make sure that you can trade, that you have some kind of a track record, you can improve yourself. There are a few rules with drawdown. Of course, you can see those there. 5% drawdown overall. Once you're funded, you keep 75%. We take all the risks and we keep 25%. Now, in the year 2022, does anyone want to take a guess at how much money, how much in dollars, millions of accounts that we were able to set up for people? Do you want to take a wild guess? Give me a guess. How much money were we able to set up for people? Abdul is saying $5 million. Frank's saying 50 million. Okay. What if I told you we had over $100 million of accounts set up? $100 million. Team, that's some zeros. That's some dollars with zeros on the end. Over $100 million of funded accounts that we set up. Now, of course, not all of them got funded. Some of them broke the rules. But there is a very, very healthy amount that actually got funded that are profitable in trading today. And they only started with some seed money. Now, here's what I want you guys to think about. This is how compounding works. What if you spent $500 for a real life trading funded account? You grew it, you got funded, you grew it some more, you pulled some money out, okay, follow me, you pull some money out, some gains out, use that money to now fund another account. You repeat the process, pull money out, and now fund yet a bigger and bigger account. Can you guys see how that can compound over, let's say, a few months? Can you see how that can work in your benefit? How that can work in your favor? It's pretty neat. Well, I'm going to show you how I did this exact same thing in about 30 days. I'll show you how I did it. I have plenty of accounts myself, plenty of money, but I wanted to see if it's possible. How quickly can I take a funded account? There's plenty of funded accounts out there, but this is the one that my company, Real Life Trading, offers. And imagine if I was to take a funded account that cost me $2,000, get it actually funded. Now I have $200,000, but let's think about what happens if it just doesn't work, team. What if I spend $2,000 and let's just say I blow up the account. I do something stupid, right? Let's say I don't know, I just do something dumb and I blow it up. Now you're allowed to lose what percent? What is 5% of $2,000? I'm sorry, 5% of $200,000 rather. What's the math? Does anyone know? Well, I'll tell you, if you lost 5% of your own real money 200K account, it's a lot more than $2,000. Yep, there you go, Keith, $10,000. So imagine even if you have the money to trade, you're like, I have money, I don't need a funded account. Imagine you're still able to kind of segregate your losses by using a funded account. Why? If you lost 5% of a real money account, you would be down $10,000. Is that true? Does that math work? But instead, it only costs you $2,000. So you kind of have like 5x the buying power, so to speak, right? You're able to buy 5 accounts at this price for what would cost you real money, a 5% loss of your real account. Now think about that for a minute, team. That's pretty exciting, right? So let's take a look. Toolbar, 1 sec. Let's take a look at a few things that I want to share with you guys today. And that is how the software works, how this automation works. And I'm going to go in depth with you guys on how this works. So this is a back test. These are results. This is a test, and I was able to take a 200K account, grow at 67. Now this is actually a back test account. This is one of the bots that I give you in my class. Now here's what I want you guys to think about. What if you were to be in traffic? And what if you were to go about your normal day, keep your job, JOB, which means just over broke, right? What if you're to keep your job and just have these things running in the background? Now, the only risk you're really taking is whatever it costs to set up an account, right? $500, whatever. That's the only real risk. But again, if you were to lose 5% of a $50,000 account, you would be out $2,500, not $500. You guys see the difference? And so what I like to do is I like to look at, wow, this is pretty exciting. This is stuff that I've been doing for a long time. Here is an example of that exact that growth, 33.5%, and it happens automatically. Now, what you'll notice is that every single little up and down tick is a trade, right? And they have small trades, small wins, small losses. It keeps everything. You don't have any wild, crazy. This is the equity curve where you start here and the test ended at the end of October, ended here, right? And obviously you're going to have some losing trades. You're going to have some winning trades. You're going to have all of that. But what if you were confident, not necessarily in yourself, but maybe in the bot itself? Now, part of the challenge with most bots that you guys may have seen online or on YouTube is that they don't really explain how they work, right? So how do you know if you're running a bot, if it's actually functioning or malfunctioning, if you have no idea how it works? Well, that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with most people. That's most of the mistakes that people make. Now, here's my approach. This is how I like to think of it, is I do teach classes on how to do this. We go in depth and I give you my bots for free. So I don't charge you anything. You join my class, I give them to you for free in my class. What if you're like, Matt, I have a strategy I've been kicking around and I want to automate it. Can you automate it for me? The answer is yes and no. Okay. So in the very last session, I teach you how to think through the process, and we create a scope of work. And then I actually walk you through the bot that we created using that scope of work so that you can think through, okay, what do I need to tell a coder? What do I need to tell a developer in order to build a strategy, take my strategy and automate it? I will tell you, not all strategies can be automated. A lot of discretionary strategies can't really be automated easily. But there's plenty of strategies that can be automated and or semi-automated, right? So what if I go in depth with you guys over the course of 8 sessions? And what if you had a simple strategy where you're going to take a moving average crossover, and it doesn't matter whether you're in front of the computer or not, you're going to get short, make some money on the way down. You're going to take a loss right here and then make all that back and more on a long trade. Getting long, buying here, riding this higher. Now, team, what I'm showing you is an actual chart. This is one of the strategies that I give you inside my class. Yep, we'll get to that in just one sec. Now, some of you guys might say, hey, I'm going to just learn how to do this on my own. You absolutely can do that. Now, how many of you, probably usually one out of maybe 1,000 people, I'm one of those 1,000 who can build a bot myself. There's a lot to learn. And I've been in software business over 25 years, so it's not hard for me. Now, if you've never written a line of code before in your life, totally different story. Make sense? So this is what I'm going to show you. This is what I teach in my class. I teach you how to set up, backtest, deploy, optimize, and review your trades. And I want to share with you the exact result. This is a screenshot of my Forex book and the actual live trades that I got. It was a funded account. You guys can see, boom, and this is what happened. Matt, boom, profit target achieved. Now I did this 100% with automation just to prove that it could be done. I don't really need the money. I have plenty of accounts, but I teach people how to do this. Now here's the actual trades I took. You guys will see all Roku. You see that, all Roku. And this was the final, this was a gap down over earnings. Huge, huge, huge. Pushed me over the edge and I got funded. Now the platform I'm using is called MetaTrader 5. And we do have, there's a few steps if you're interested in doing this, to download and install MetaTrader 5 if you're interested. You can absolutely do that. You can go download MetaTrader 5 for free. If you wanted to use a real life trading funded account, you can do that. You can use your own account. You can create a funded account. Funded accounts, of course, like we talked about, they minimize the impact and minimize the downside risk. You set up that MetaTrader 5 and you log in and you download and import your first bot and you start running backtests. Now, you guys don't need me to do this. Now, what I do is I go in depth, really, really far in depth in these where I teach you the specifics of how this works. Some people use MetaTrader 4. I, as a software professional, like to use the newer versions. MetaTrader 5 has been out like 7-8 years. My bots are created for MetaTrader 5. It's pretty easy to make them work on MetaTrader 4. Not hard. But here's what I want you guys to think about. What if you wanted a deep understanding? What if you didn't want to just buy random fireworks, not understand how they work, and then blow up in your hand? What if I could help you minimize that pain or maybe sidestep that whole pain? So this is what I have for those of you who stayed through to the end. All of those steps, 1 through 7, I'm going to give to you in my ebook. And each of those steps has an actual video for free, just for staying to the end, there's a video that you're able to use or to watch to go through step by step. And I give you one of my bots for free. The actual bot that I got funded with. I have multiple accounts running multiple bots right now. So I'm giving you the ones that actually got funded. Some of you guys are asking about NinjaTrader 8. I'm not familiar with that. Julio, the 33.5% growth that was an example based on kind of a moderate risk. You can use super high risk, high reward, and you can double, triple, quadruple your account if the market cooperates, of course. So here is what I'm doing: a small group coaching. I do 8 sessions, $15.99 on this call. You guys saw on the website, I've discounted it to $12.99. And we have recordings. I do record them if you're not available. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 a.m., 8:30 p.m., we go in depth. Again, this is for people who are interested in really going deep. This is not for people who just want to piddle. These are for people who want to commit, do the homework, go through to the end, and actually get funded account. And as a bonus, of course, I do give you access to a 100K paper trading account. So if you don't have an account, don't have money, you just want to practice with the bots in a simulated environment, I'm going to give you a paper trading account. Easy, exactly works with 8cap. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right, let me look through my questions. Boom, boom, boom. Is trading automation, what is the time frame? So Donald, the time frame, it really depends. You can run it on a 5-minute chart, you can run it on a 30-minute chart, you can run it on a 1-day chart, a 1-week chart. It really all depends on the exact strategy and what has worked well historically. Yeah, great question. What other questions you guys have for me? Okay, so I'm going to place a link for you guys to download. Actually, you know what? I have all your email address, so I can just email you guys the ebook. Yep, I will share with you. If you go to, yep, great question. How do you sign up for the funded account, the prop account? Yep, if you were to go to reallifetrading.com, this is my company. Scroll down, go to RLT funded accounts and more info. I will put the link to this inside of the chat window, so you guys have access to that. You do not have to have a funded account in order to join the class. I will give you a practice account. And again, this is how it works, is that you grow the account 10%. Now, you grow it 10% and you can't lose more than 5%, like overall drawdown. That's basically what that works out to. And keep in mind, team, if you've ever used a prop account like Top Step, there's plenty of them out there that charge you a monthly $200–300 a month. This is a one-time fee. You don't ever pay anything else once you're in the account, and we take the risk, right? You're able to lose 5%, and we take that risk. In order to stop it, you can start with $500. Yes, that's correct. So this would be the smallest account we offer right here, and you're able to go to reallifetrading.com/funding and sign up now. Yep. Exactly. Yep. All right, let me see. Do your strategies run on Forex pairs or have to run on stocks? I have some that do both, right? So I don't like to just stick with actually have a personal place in my heart for Tesla, the stock, but I do run some of the major pairs, yep, on Forex, yep. And part of the cool part about the bots and how they work is that you're able to run a test to see what works well historically, right? And those give you insights into what do you want to run live? What do you want to put real money in, or either a demo and a prop account? What do you want to connect a prop account to, and or a live trading account too before you let it run loose, right? Great question, Robert. Let's see, what else? What are some other questions, team? Can I trade futures on MT5? You can. There's, let's see, a list here of, of all of the assets that are tradable in the account that Real Life Trading offers. Crypto, of course, is one of those. Of course, the big boys. Are some smaller coins in there as well that you can trade. Let's see, there's not a ton of futures. There's a little bit of oil, some metals. Yep. A lot of stocks. Yep. Once prop purchase, do you complete instruction? You have complete instructions on setup. So in the, let me see, Michelle, I guess the question I would have for you is, are you talking about setup of the prop account or setup of the bot? The bot, the specific details are in the ebook that I give to you guys. Yep. Are you guaranteed to make profit? No, Mark, you're not. Because I don't tell you what to run it on. I show you how to make those decisions, and those decisions are up to you. If you want to run it on US dollar, Japanese yen, and it historically has done terribly, that's your decision. So I don't tell you what exactly to run it on. I show you what I'm running it on, but those are decisions you're gonna have to make on your own. Yeah. Lend my 2 minutes of oh, right, sorry. Yep, exactly. Let's see if I got some other questions. Eco subscription fee is too expensive for us. Are you talking about for the funded account? Is that what you're talking about? The audition fee? Yep. Let's see. You guys are hitting me with some of these questions. Do your strategies, does Real Life Trading have any restrictions in testing stage, how many contracts you can buy at a time? Yes, there are a few rules that you need to know. Of course, that helps us minimize risk on our end. And that is there are some max lot sizes that are restricted based on the account size. So for a 50K account, a max lot size would be 5, right? AKA 500 shares. A 100K account is limited to a max lot size of 10, aka 1,000 shares of anything. And then a 200K account is limited to 20 max lot size, or 20 shares. It's not 10 shares, it's 10 lots, right? So you can say 2,000 shares or 20 lots. Same thing here, it's 1,000 shares, right? And that's how we ensure that we can measure and calculate risk, right? Okay, let's see. Does that answer your question, Bradley? Great question. I am not related to Mark DeLong, the name he's guy. You're not the first person to ask me that. I wish I was, because that would be badass. He's basically a ninja, right? Ninjas are pretty cool. What are some pros over MT5 over MT4? It's newer technology. It's been out a while. Can you watch a recording? Absolutely. I am recording this. I will email you guys out the link. Let's see. Let me go back to see if I missed some of these. If I use your personal bot setup with your settings, shouldn't I know that it works ahead of time? Shouldn't I know it works ahead of time? Well, I can't guarantee your, like, there's no way to guarantee what you pick will win or lose. I can show you the settings of how I'm doing it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to win or lose. And we all have different appetites for loss. I will tell you, I'll show you an example of that, Mark, in just one sec. And I've seen what happens sometimes when people want to like delegate and try to, you've probably seen this before if you're using like stock trading alerts where people are like, oh, I made money. Oh, aren't I a genius? But you guys have to understand that it's really like you have to be accountable for whatever decisions you put in your account. Let me show you. Let me see, one sec. Okay, so Mark, imagine this is common. This is what happens is let's say people have, and this is something I can't control what you do in your account, but let's just pretend that someone starts the bot and it has a few losses. maybe within the first week. And then down here, you turn it off because you're scared, because emotions take over. Well, you're going to miss out on all this. You're going to tell me it didn't work, right? So that, again, I can't control what you do in your account. That's why it's your account. You have to be responsible for what you do in your account. Yep. And I can teach you how to think about how to make the decisions on what to run it on and what doesn't. That's what we do and go in depth over. The two fees are the session and the funded account. That's right. How long do you have to hit the 10% profit target to pass the audition? That's a great question. Some people give you like 30 to 60 days. Ours, there's no time limit. The only exception is you have to have one trade. Let me show you here. You have to have one trade at least every 30 days, right? And that's what we call the inactivity period. It does cost money to have these accounts up, running, operational, right? Connected to live data feeds. And you just have to place one trade every 30 days to that. So it's not that you have to do it in 30 days, you have to have a trade every 30 days. So there's unlimited time. I've seen people take months and months to get funded. Yep. Great question. Perfect. I do provide bots. I have about a dozen different bots that I've created. We don't go through all of them, but I try to get a feel for the audience, and you guys like, if you like stocks, if you like swing trading, if you like day trading. I even have some semi-automated bots as well. But yep, that's exactly right. So if you want to manually make some discretionary decisions and you want the orders, you want to click a button, buy or sell, and use specific strategies. I also have some semi-automated bots that I use as well. And that's typically where we start, just so you guys can get a feel for how it works. Yep, great question. Let me see, am I caught up on all this? Perfect. I do provide the bots, that's correct. And again, Bradley, if you look at the list of assets tradable, SPY is not necessarily an ETF in here. There is an equivalent that you can trade in here. It's an index. Let's see, where is it called? I think it's called SP, right here. SPX 500, yeah. So that's the index. As you know, SPY is an ETF of the index, and this is the index equivalent itself, yep. Perfect. Any other questions? I do provide the bots, yes. So I will send you guys real quick a link if you're interested in signing up. I'll put it in the recording if you're interested in signing up. We do start at the top of every month. I'm about halfway through my current January class. So our next class starts at the top of February. And it's really, it's not for everyone, right? Not everyone is ready to commit. Some people, you know, you want to think about it, you want to, you know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that I want to do is I want to work with people who are really serious about growing accounts, building wealth, and getting into the details and the guts of how this stuff works so you can understand it. So the secret is that there's no bots. Bots don't make you money. Bots execute the strategy, and the strategy makes you money, right? Cool. All right, team, if you can't make February, I will be doing another class starting in March as well at the top of every month, every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 to 8 p.m. And that is all I have for you. I have done a little bit of futures trading I've done a little bit, Ronald, yep. But we can certainly run some tests. A lot of these strategies work across multiple asset classes. So, yep, absolutely. Anything else for me, team? And we're going to wrap up. Hopefully, I was able to open your eyes to what is possible, right? Some of you guys might be so jammed up in the thinking, oh, I just can't figure out how to make trading work for you. And I will send you guys some videos of testimonials of people who've got their accounts funded, who got them funded with my bot trading class, which is pretty invaluable. If you think about how you can take $500 of seed money and grow that, get it funded, pull money out, get a bigger account, repeat the process over and over and over. You have multiple accounts. So that if one, for whatever reason, blows up, let's say you're inactive for 30 days and you have a spare tire, you have multiple accounts, so you're not so dependent and so worried. Again, team, I want to leave you with the thought that trading is a game of confidence. It is a game of confidence. And I can absolutely help you guys on your way to becoming a profitable trader. Yep, the link's there. MT5 is, so there's not a fee to download MT5. Just make sure you use the 8-cap version of it, which is what we go through in my class. You do have the freedom to invest in whatever you want, Richard. If you want to invest in a little bit of Starbucks and a little bit of gold, absolutely. And a little bit of Bitcoin, knock yourself out. Absolutely. As long as you don't break the rules. Yep. So the ebook, I will send you guys a link for that. That is also on my website. If you guys want to enter your email address, you'll get that right away. Otherwise, I am going to send the ebook to everyone who is here right now. It looks like there's a couple hundred of you. Yep. Perfect. Cool. All right, team. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and hopefully I can at least get you started, and at a minimum, look at the funded account program, and at a minimum, look at the ebook to get started. Of course, doesn't cost you anything to get the ebook. I'll send that to you here shortly. I love you guys. Let me know if I can do anything for you. My email is matt@reallifetrading.com, and I will see you guys in class in February. Thanks.